Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 7th of December 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, another big day for the economists. Official economic growth figures came out today and they show the economy expanded by 0.6% during the September quarter, taking the annual pace to 5.9%. Now, the big difference reflects a bumper December 21 quarter, which is included in the annual figures. Investors were interested, but took more note of what happened on Wall Street this morning. The S&P 500 fell 1.4%, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq dropped 2% amid fears the US is heading for a recession. That played out in the local market, where the S&P ASX 200 finished the day down almost 1% to 7,229 points, while the big miners did okay on higher iron ore prices. Pretty much all other sectors went backwards, with technology stocks again dropping most. The tech sub-index lost 3.3%, with leader WiseTech Global off 5% and property group REA down 2.6%. It was like yesterday, really, but just more exaggerated. Fortescue was the best of the large caps, up more than 2%. The banks were all lower, led by ANZ, which fell 1.4%. Woodside Energy was down 2%, while industrial property giant Goodman Group fell nearly 3%. Beach Energy share price fell 10%, a one-month low and the worst of the top 200, on fears of what the collapse of engineering contractor Clough will do to its major gas project in Western Australia. A few companies around the place that use Clough that are a little worried about what it all means. In corporate news, oil and gas major Santos said it will increase its on-market share buyback by $350 million. That didn't stop its share price from dropping more than 1%. Story number 2, oil prices tumbled this morning to their lowest point this year. Brent crude fell below $80 a barrel on fears of a global slowdown. Now, I'm talking about oil prices falling, but they do remain high. In fact, higher than any point over the past 8 years, with a couple of notable exceptions. And that's why petrol prices are so high, but at least this latest news will put downward pressure at the bowser. Also, there was an interesting note out of investment bank Goldman Sachs today, saying copper prices are set to hit record levels in the next 12 months as a supply shortage coincides with increased demand. Now, copper is a litmus test for most commodities because it's used in so many products, from batteries to building. It's off more than 20% from its record highs in March, though last month it jumped 11%. Story number 3. Austrac is suing the third casino player in Australia, New Zealand-based Sky City, for allegedly allowing patrons to wash dirty cash through its Adelaide gaming rooms. The financial crime watchdog filed its case in the federal court today, alleging Sky City facilitated money laundering that amounted to serious and systemic breaches of the law. All sounds very familiar. Investigations commenced in June last year, and Austrac Deputy Chief Executive Peter Soros said the regulator found failures in Sky City's approach to anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing obligations. Sky City has not yet filed its defence. Star Entertainment and Crown Resorts are also facing federal court cases brought by Austrac. Story number 4, there's been a great takeover battle going on for ASX-listed Warrego Energy, involving Gina Rinehart's Hancock Prospecting, Kerry Stokes' Beach Energy, and another listed group, Strike Energy. Warrego is an oil and gas company with assets in Australia and Spain. Hancock Prospecting and Beach Energy have been in a ding-dong battle, and a couple of days ago, it looked like Hancock had won, or at least was winning, after bidding $342 million for the company. The Warrego board gave Beach until Monday to better it. Yesterday, it emerged that Strike Energy, one-time suitor and partner in a gas project in Western Australia, owns 19.9% of Warrego. So you have Rinehart v Stokes for Warrego and another player, Strike, holding a big chunk of shares. Definitely one to watch. And story number 5, Wall Street's big investment banks are feeling the pinch, with warnings of layoffs and much smaller bonuses. Morgan Stanley will reduce its workforce by about 2%. That's about 1,600 people, according to Bloomberg. Earlier this week, Goldman Sachs Chief Executive David Solomon said smaller bonuses and even potential layoffs should come as no surprise amid a deal slump. And Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan said the lender is slowing hiring as fewer employees leave in an attempt to manage headcount. Tough times for investment bankers. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 7th of December, 2022. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed, the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.